So I want to start today's video off over on Magic Way, behind the Disneyland Hotel, to show you guys a little bit of perspective about Disneyland Forward and why some of these things need approvals, because a lot of people just don't really know. They haven't been on the ground in that area and don't really have a perspective of just how close some of those things are going to be to existing homes. So we'll start there first and then head to the parks after. So I'm over here at the corner of Magic Way and Walnut, and I just kind of wanted to show you what Disneyland is looking to do as far as Disneyland Forward and why it matters so much that the community needs to be on board. So you can see here, Walnut Street is just a really tiny street with 2 lanes going down either side, and just on the other side you can see right there are condominiums. Those are homes that people have purchased. They're not, or I mean they could be renting, but they're not apartments. So that's how close some of these theme park additions would be to Disneyland theme park expansion. So you can see right in front of me here is actually the hotel parking lot for the Disneyland Hotel, the fantasy lot. And that's one of the marked areas that Disneyland would like to have earmarked for a rezoning to be used for theme park expansion. And since this is directly across from Disneyland, this would be Disneyland expansion right across the street from literally people's front doors. Right there you can see there's Halloween decorations. So that is extremely close to have theme park expansion right next to your front door. And it's definitely a lot different than what they're experiencing now, right? They have just a quiet street, a little small 2-lane street on either side. Not that much when it comes to noise, with the exception of Phantasmic or nighttime spectaculars. That's when they might experience some noise, but having a theme park expansion with large attractions right next to them right there could definitely change what their daily life is like. And that's why they're really making sure the community that's living next door knows all about the project and all about their plans, and that they're not going to be bringing these crazy massive attractions like Incredicoaster to bring all that extra noise. Over here in Hollywoodland, the Schmoozies location's actually been closed for quite some time. And in fact, they actually listed as opening in fall, but I don't know if they're going to still make that timeline. Not really sure kind of what they're doing. There's no really exterior work happening. However, there has been a lot of infrastructure work happening all over Disneyland, like piping and electrical work. So potentially it could be something as simple as that. It's maybe taking a little bit longer than they had expected. But for the next part of the update, I'm going to head over to Avengers Campus. So the next update's not truly all that new, but it's new to me. And that's going to be the Avengers Vault. I haven't really had a chance to check it out yet. That's the new gift shop in the massive Avengers headquarters building. So it's right there. So we're going to head in there next. So the Avengers Vault actually opened last month, but I hadn't had a chance to check it out yet, so I wanted to see it for myself. This is going to be your premier location for all Avengers-themed merchandise. Now, there used to be a store called the Avengers Superstore over in Hollywoodland, which housed collectibles just like this, but it's now going to be this Avengers Vault, and it brought over a lot of the collectibles Disneyland Resort hadn't seen yet, but that they already had at Walt Disney World Resort. It's definitely going to be a premier location, very packed in here, of course. It's still a new location, so it was still really popular. But you're going to find a lot of, like I mentioned, collectibles and other Avengers-themed merchandise. Now, this could potentially be the same gift shop you exit out to once the new attraction opens in Avengers Campus, but we'll have to wait and see. This is located in the giant Avengers headquarters building, and there's 2 entrances here. We're looking at the second one right now, but definitely go check it out on your next visit if you haven't done so. I wanted to make a quick stop over here to mention this as well too. This is a big change for Disneyland Resort. The Disney Genie Plus Fast Pass service is now going to include Little Mermaid Ariel's Undersea Adventure. Now this is important because this attraction has never had Fast Pass or Lightning Lane before, not even paid Lightning Lane individually. So Ariel's Undersea Adventure will now be included in a day's purchase for Genie Plus service for Lightning Lane. So not sure how that's going to affect the standby queue, but a lot of people who are purchasing Genie Plus will really like that, especially since there's not really a lot of options for like younger kids when you're buying Disney Genie Plus, at least at Disney California Adventure Park. You've got Incredicoaster. You have Guardians of the Galaxy, a lot of really high-end thrill rides, and not too many family attractions. You've got Soarin' and things like that, but even then, Radiator Springs Racers is part of the individual lightning lane, so you have to buy that separately. So it'll be nice to have an attraction for the family as an additional bonus that you can book with Ariel's Undersea Adventure. But let's go ahead and head out now over to Disneyland. I don't think there's anything really left to cover here at Disney California Adventure, and Oogie Boogie Bash Mix-In is about to start, so let's get out of here. Just to show you how crazy you can get sometimes, I finally left DCA and there's still an hour until Mix-In, and there's already guests waiting to get in for the Mix-In period. So I can't recommend it enough. If you are going to Oogie Boogie Bash on one of the few days left this season, make sure you're getting here early, or if you have admission to the park, get in the park early and do your check-in inside the park, just outside Avengers Campus. They do an inside the park check-in, so you don't have to deal with that mess outside. First stop in Disneyland, I wanted to show you guys the great moments of Mr. Lincoln, because right now they're actually showing for Disney 100 the new Once Upon a Studio short that debuted on Disney's 100th anniversary just this October. And for those that don't have Disney Plus, well, you can actually come watch it over here at Great Moments of Mr. Lincoln, right inside the lobbies. They got it playing for all the guests there. It's actually drawing a pretty big crowd. So if you don't have Disney Plus, head on in and check it out. And we are in the final week of the Halloween season here at the Disneyland Resort. As we head into November, we're going to be going into the Christmas or holiday season. And you can actually see, just like every other year in the past, the holiday season is already creeping up on Disneyland. If you look just at the end of the street here, you'll see the snow-capped tops of Sleeping Beauty Castle. The snow is already here for the season. And you can see more up close as we're walking towards it now. No icicles or anything in place, but all those snow caps on the tops of the castle. And they've also removed some of the 100th anniversary decor as they prepare for all the other Christmas decorations that are going to be added to the castle. And you can see the sailing ship Columbia here. Brings me to my next what's new and what's happening at Disneyland, which is right over there. The Mark Twain. The Mark Twain is on dry dock and getting refurbished. We've shown it before, but I want to share the latest progress on it now. And then, of course, right now, if you're coming to Disneyland, at least for the time being, sailing ship Columbia is the only thing you can ride around the rivers of America, besides the Wilderness Explorer canoes, or whatever they're called, Davy Crockett's canoes. Got the name mixed up there. And I also have footage of the Mark Twain when it was less covered up last week, so I can show you that as well too, as we get a little bit closer over there. But let's head over there next. You can see up close here, the Mark Twain is on dry dock, so there's no water behind it. They have a wall of water cut off. But one of the new things they did get on it was a brand new wheel, and I'll cut to the same shot from last week so you can see what that brand new wheel looks like, all custom made. I'm sure that was such an expensive addition to the Mark Twain, and it's been down since about September 17th, and there's no update as far as when it's going to be done from the refurbishment. Disneyland's update calendar only goes out so far, so we have to keep checking it, and at least the dates that are available now, the Mark Twain is still listed as closed. So we'll have to keep checking to see when it disappears off that closure, and then we know when to expect it back. And because of that Mark Twain closure, they have actually closed the pathway that goes through that back half over there, so you can see there's a wall there now. So because of the Mark Twain, you can't walk around that little shortcut there. In addition to that additional dining that's usually back there, that's not available. So keep that in mind when you're headed that way, trying to use the shortcut. Can't right now, at least. One thing I noticed over here in Critter Country across from Tiana's Bayou Adventure, they've actually cleared all these plants that are right here that usually block your view of the Splash Mountain drop. It's totally open now. So we get a little better look up here at kind of some of the construction they're doing for Tiana's Bayou Adventure. This normally wasn't visible. They had really tall shrubs that kind of went way up here. So the only way you could see that drop area is by going around that backside, but now it's all cut away. So not sure why they did that there, but other than that, on the exterior of Tiana's Bayou Adventure, there's not too much changed from all the previous visits. So a lot of work probably happening on the inside. But let's continue walking around Disneyland and making our way back over to Toontown. Another big change over here in Mickey's Toontown is going to be Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. It's actually going to be joining the regular Disney Genie Plus service now. You're not going to have to buy an individual lightning lane anymore. To experience the special lightning lane on this attraction, you'll be able to just use your regular Genie Plus to book a lightning lane for this attraction, just like you would any of the other rides. So starting soon, we don't have a specific date on that yet, but keep an eye out for it. They'll be switching over to regular Genie Plus. Of course, the major update over here in Mickey's Toontown is that the Centennial Park is under construction once again. They actually removed all of the turf, that fake grass, and they put in some nice pavers and brick instead. Just so happened that when they opened Mickey's Toontown, every guest decided to use this walkway, and the fake grass, that AstroTurf, just couldn't handle that much traffic. So they actually switched to a paver, which is much nicer. And then they'll still have the fake kind of spongy grass down here all around the play roots at the base of the tree. So we do have this coming up soon at the end of October. This will be ready to go and open to all the guests. And then Goofy's How to Play Yard, straight over here, the Goofy's House Play Yard, is going to be closing next month. Another thing under construction over here is going to be the Donald Duck's Play Pond. They still haven't never opened this since Toontown first opened. They're finally working on it now alongside the other stuff in Toontown. No opening date for this either. Only just we know that the Centennial Park will be opening sometime at the end of this month. Next up on what's new and what's happening, we have Space Mountain, of course, which is closed for its refurbishment this month, opening pretty shortly here. They're doing exterior work as well as interior work. So the outside of the mountain's getting painted, plus some other like miscellaneous stuff too. If you look kind of up where you'd go for the queue, they've got it all blocked off. So they're doing some much needed exterior work on some of the parts of Space Mountain, which is kind of nice because if you're dining over here at the Pizza Planet, you've got a really quiet dining space, which is not normally the case for this corridor right here, as this is normally your main entrance, your lightning lane entrance, and all that stuff. So but definitely check the hours and schedule on the Disneyland app as far as when it opens, because you can check day by day and you'll see what attractions are closed for refurbishment, and then you'll see which day exactly Space Mountain ends its refurbishment as you go through the different days. That's usually how I find out when things are open and when are closed, by going through that calendar and seeing kind of what's on the list and what's not on the list. That's how you know the length of the different refurbishments. Then we made our way over here to downtown Disney. Check out some of the construction over here. As you can see, the new shopping center is going to be on the left. They're going to be getting rid of that downtown Disney live stage soon, and then this will be our new one here, featuring that art piece by artist Nicholas, who did that big downtown Disney Black Panther piece over there. He actually constructed this very mid-century modern kind of art piece attached to the live stage. That's going to be the new live stage, and then all the shopping is going to be behind it. So that's going to be the new direction of downtown Disney. Still a lot of things under construction. I'm going to head over now to the hotels as we wrap up what's new and what's happening here at Disneyland for this week. Don't think there's going to be too much new going on at the hotels, but figured it's worth walking over there anyway. And you can see, look at this. Din Tai Fung is looking really progressed from the last time that we were here. Lots of work being done on that building. It's way bigger than I thought it was going to be. So way back when, back in 2001, this road here, I think it's called Resort Road or Downtown Road, actually closed to regular cars a long time ago. Only like service cars and golf carts use it now, but mainly it's been used for pedestrians a lot more lately. Well, Disney's actually cemented its use for pedestrians by painting it with this new checkerboard pattern, and they've also done it way down there too. So pretty much cements the fact that we're probably never going to get cars driving through here ever again on Resort Road, especially with the transformation of downtown Disney coming out so far this way with Din Tai Fung. There's just no way that this road can continue to accommodate cars, especially if DisneylandForward projects continue to expand over here as well too. But I'll show you exactly what I'm looking at in just a moment. Now, I couldn't really tell in the concept art, but this is kind of my theory about where the new security is going to be for downtown Disney going into that new space. And then the spot over here will be reserved for hotel guests. So that's my running theory. They've actually closed the road completely here a long time ago, but here's more of that painted kind of checkerboard surface I was telling you about. And it's actually got lines like they're going to continue doing it. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but you can see right there, I think that this is going to be where the security checkpoint is to get through security more in a more permanent location, no longer like a tent structure. And like I mentioned, this used to be for cars, but it's clearly now just a pedestrian walkway so that guests can walk in and out of here over to Simba parking lot, at least for the time being, until Disney needs to reclaim this space for DisneylandForward projects, if that gets approved. Heading over now to the Pixar Place Hotel. They actually have opened the back entrance, including these new pavers that definitely continue that Mondrian-esque look that they're going for, plus these Pixar ball lamps going down the pathway. Really cool. This was kind of like a forgotten pathway before when it used to be Disney's Paradise Pier Hotel, but it's definitely livened it up, right? These are the guests that are going to be walking in and out of the parks, at least downtown Disney and Disneyland, because they have their own entrance for Disney California Adventure Park. But guests can just walk right this way to the new security entrance that's going to be basically straight ahead. So in all honesty, the Pixar Place Hotel has really good placement now for the way things are shaping up as far as entrances to parks. You can't go wrong truly with any of the hotels, but I would say Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and the Pixar Place Hotel are going to have the best placement as far as proximity to the parks. So the rear half of the lobby has finally opened now. Lots more space over here. This is going to be the convention center space, as well as, of course, the front desk check-in, the bell desk, and the rental car space. Now they have a piano here. This used to be where they had that carousel piece from King Triton's Carousel. Now they have a whole kind of special area all for Pixar's Soul. Also, when they first opened this space, they didn't have the artwork ready yet for the spaces behind the front desk, but it seems like they finally just got that now. So they have all of these basically art pieces from different moments of different Pixar films all behind the front desk now. So I just came from downstairs. Up here on the second floor of the hotel, they actually have the new fitness center right over here. It's now open and available. And then this direction over here on the second floor used to be the location you would head straight ahead to go to their concierge lounge called the Beachcombers Club. Now, I don't know if it's open right now for guests, if they're even doing concierge level yet, because the hotel hasn't fully rebranded. However, because this sign and a couple others downstairs, we know what it's going to be called. So concierge level at Pixar Place Hotel will be called the Creators Club. So you'll be booking a room Creators Club level for Pixar Place Hotel. That was cool because we didn't know what the actual concierge lounge was going to be called. And being obviously that they went away from the beach theme, we have the Creators Club instead. But that about wraps up the updates for what's new and what's happening at the Disneyland Resort for this week. I hope you enjoyed following me along on my tour around the resort. And if you're planning a vacation or anything to Disneyland Resort soon, I hope this video helped you out with some things that you didn't know were happening or didn't know were closed. But thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that like button on the video. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so as well, because there's a lot more updates coming soon. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.